Hi. It is, wow, it's 8:30. My eyes are bad. Um I know I ranted a little bit this morning about the caregiving stuff, but the thing I wanted to talk about right now was I don't know what to do with these lights. Anyway, um four tiny kittens were found. Somebody found them in under their porch, and they think that the mama cat may have gotten killed or something happened to her. And they seemed like they might be sick. But they brought them in, and we have a mama cat, and I'm going to share pictures. Pictures. I'm going to share pictures. I didn't take a video. I wish I would have, but we had our hands full. There was four, and this I kind of feel bad. This poor mama cat. She was supposed to get spayed this week, but now that these kittens came in, we kind of I always do that. I don't know, get itchy nose. But we wanted to see, due to the fact that she took in actually three kittens that were not hers at the time she had hers. And these are just tiny, tiny babies, not eating on their own. Um, we wanted to see how she would take to them. I wish I would have gotten a picture. If you know cats and they smell through their mouth, and I don't know if I have any pictures of any of my cats doing it. It makes me laugh every time. They make this really funny face when they smell something, and we're always like, "Does that smell funny?" It's just too freaking adorable. But she she seems to have taken them. I have pictures, and they were nursing on her and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, wow, does she even still have milk? I guess if they're still nursing, I guess she would keep producing. I'm not sure about that part. But everything seems to be okay. We're gonna work with them as far as like trying to get them to eat mush, KMR, and trying to like help teach them to eat. We weighed them. There were, oh shoot, I think there was two males and two females. Super cute. You'll see the pictures. I'll pop them in here throughout the video. But that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about because it is kitten season. And I just wish that people would take the initiative to spay, neuter, their pets. If they're out in the wild, catch them, spay them, neuter, let them back out. I mean, it's heartbreaking to um, see these babies, and had they not been found, and sorry, I get a tad emotional, when it comes to animals, very much, because I just get frustrated when people don't do what they could do, and there's help out there. I mean, we've offered to help where people actually said no, they didn't want to deal with it. And I mean, we offered to pay, we offered to trap and stuff like that. And, if it's their property and they have a lot of property and they have cats and they don't want somebody on there and they don't care what happens to them, um, there's nothing you can do. So it just is it's heartbreaking. Um, But I do want to do a video totally just informational on cats and maybe pop in. I should sit down sometime, I mean, and try to figure out how many cats we've had come through our house. And like I said, I had an appointment for my one of my cats, and her and her sister are my very first foster adoptees. I mean, when I got them, they were brought into the vet's office 6 years ago, and somebody found them next to dead siblings. They were filled with fleas, and we had to keep them quarantined to the bathroom and give them bath. And um, they were fending for themselves a little bit, so they weren't wanting the bottle. I mean, they were pretty easy. We were able to, get them to eat the mush, soft food and stuff. And I can remember when I was in my office, because they go from the bathroom to a separate room, and they were so tiny, the petite little. I called them petite little Bengal babies. They're not full Bengal though, but they have beautiful markings. And I had each one on a shoulder. Each, they were so tiny. I'd be working on the computer and they'd be sleeping on my shoulder, sitting there. And I can remember my daughter said, they're old enough to go now. We need to post them. Okay. No, I don't want to let them go. Okay, no. I ended up keeping them. I couldn't let them go. And they're just so bonded, and I just have tons of pictures. But I mean, those were my very first. And that's a bad thing about fostering, because sometimes you end up either with a foster failure, or somebody returns a cat, or they just don't get adopted for whatever reason. And as they get older, people don't want older cats, so if they don't get adopted as a kitten, chances are you're going to be stuck with them for a while, because it's rare to get somebody to take them. Because we have that now with the two white, they're like twins. They almost look like Siamese twins, but I mean, they're lanky and got big ears, and I mean, they're beautiful cats. But nobody wants them, and I'm surprised that they didn't go. But we got them when they were just a little bit older, so people want the itty bitty babies. Someday, if I ever have my own house, I'll do the senior cats. But we took Chazzy to get her eye checked, and talked to the doctor, and we are going to take her to an eye specialist. I don't know how to describe it. My daughter knows all that medical verbiage, but it's like the thing I would describe it closest to is when you have cataracts on your eye, because there's something on her eye. She was so good. Of course, she was a little bit drugged, but she's so sweet. She's like, anyway. So we got through that. Then we went and saw my aunt, and I got a little clip of that. I might throw that in there just for kicks and giggles. And we didn't stay real long, because I mean, it was just a rough day, and we'll go back tomorrow. We just needed to find out, like her discharge date. And one of the ladies was talking, the social worker was talking about the hospice thing, or comfort care, or whatever they call it. And from what I understand, it's free. I mean, Medicare pays for it. So even if she were to stay there, they would pay for everything, from what I understand. And she likes it there. So he must have been spraying some Raid. I'm going to pause this just for a minute. I want to find out what's going on. So you have to be careful. I mean, he had a can of Raid, and you have to be careful when you have animals in the house, because he said he was spraying a fly, but he said it was outside. He sprayed it through the screen, but still, it kind of makes me nervous, because you definitely don't want your pets to get sick. So I gotta kind of remind him that I have to remind him that, you can't feed them certain things and you got to be careful, and pills and this, that, and the other thing. It's hard when you have seniors. I mean, they should have pets, but they got to be careful. But anyway, um, so there was that. And then we picked up the kittens, and I will be throwing pictures in. We gave them a bath, and you got to be so careful because when they're that little, we had put towels, like hand towels. We put a whole bunch of them in the in the dryer, kept it going to keep them really warm. So when we gave them a bath, we would dry them off, and then we'd grab a really warm one and keep. You got to keep them really warm. You don't want them to get cold. I almost lost a cat once that way. Freaked me out. Oh my goodness. Um, it was one that I had given them baths, and one of them, I guess, got cold, and he got real lethargic. But then I was told too that it might have been like part of one of the vaccines or something. I mean, this is where it's really kind of nice to know somebody. Even though my daughter was up north, and this was a few years ago. He's clanging around. I don't know what he's doing. But I called her, and I mean, there's nothing she could do. She's up north, and I'm like crying and freaking out. So she called one of the girls, and they met me at the vet's office. And I mean, I was holding on to him really tight and praying the whole way there that don't die on me. And they put him in an incubator, and they did some stuff, and he came around. Turned out to be a big boy that was a butthead. Oh, he's such an awesome cat. I mean, he has a good home and stuff, but we had him for a while. We called him Manny. He was something else. He was a bottle baby. He was something else. But, yeah, this is going quite a ways, and I want to throw some clips in there, but yeah, I need to count how many kittens we've had come through the house and how many cats. But anyway, so I mean, we gave them all a bath, and and then we took them into the mama cat to see what she would do, and she took them. So I got pictures of that too that I'll throw in there. And it's really awesome when that happens because that will be good for them. And the house just isn't big enough. I told my daughter she needs a bigger house. We need more kitten rooms, cat rooms. Maybe someday, have the perfect cat house. Because when you're a foster and you love animals, I'll tell you, it's insane sometimes, but you do it because you love them, and you just drive yourself crazy. Hopefully it'll calm down and they can take a break, and we can find these ones a good home. Two torties, and an orange one already is spoken for, and then there's a black one, but I don't think he's all black. I think he's got some other markings, but they're too little yet to really tell. There's a light tortie and a dark tortie, so we'll see, and I'll post some pictures of them. But I'm going to stop this now. I'm just rambling. That's what I do best, ramble. And I'll throw some pictures up there, and call it a day. I got some other things I got to do too. This is therapeutic, as they say. It really is. I think some people do a channel just because, that's better than going to a counselor. You just talk to the camera. All right. Well, I'm going to call it quits and edit this. So you all have a good night. Take care. Share, like, comment. Bye.